We are about to start a day of questioning the undercover police inquiry with Patricia de Silva, the cousin of Jean Charles de Menezes, who was murdered by the Metropolitan Police in Stockwell Stockwell Tube Station on the 22nd of July 2005. The family of Jean Charles de Menezes were spied on in their fight for justice, but it wasn't the first of the horrific things that the Met Police did to the family. After they murdered their family member, they released a lot of lies about Jean Charles. They claimed he was wearing a bulky jacket, that he jumped the barrier, that he was running, that he challenged the police, that he was aggressive, that he had wires sticking out of his jacket. All of these known to be complete falsehoods, not mistakes on behalf of the police, but lies that they invented in order to feed to the press. They claimed that he'd been involved in a sexual assault, that there was drugs in his system. They even said he had Mongolian eyes, whatever the hell that means. There was a photo fit released, which they doctored to put together with Hussein Osman, the person that it was supposedly thought was going to do a suicide attack that day, to make him look more like him. The surveillance officer who was watching the flat was away for a piss, but still gave, when Jean Charles left the house, he gave a positive identification of the other man. The police blocked the IPCC from the crime scene for 3 days. They knew full well Jean Charles was completely innocent, yet they still went on TV and continued the lie that he was a suspected suicide bomber for another 24 hours. It's an appalling litany. There's loads more I've probably forgotten. I'm joined with Kate Wilson from Police Spies Out Lives.
Good morning.
What are you expecting to hear today?
I am expecting today to be harrowing. I mean, yes. What we've heard with some of the other family justice campaigns that were spied on is basically horrific stories of what happened to the family, followed by horrific stories of their experience of police failings, police cover-ups. And this is kind of hopefully for these families, the last chapter of the police abuse, which is the uncovering of the fact that while they were failing, or I think in this case, really actively trying to obstruct.
Yeah, very actively trying to obstruct.
Investigation, they were also spending resources on spying on the grieving family.
I mean, it should also be added that though there was found to be serious failings, outright lying, falsehoods being promoted in the press by named officers, the only thing that happened to these officers is they got promoted. In fact, it made Crescenda Dick's career essentially. This murder. It's an appalling thing. I mean, like one of the things that we talk about at the inquiry is how it shines a light on so many other injustices that the police are guilty of, many of which are worse than the undercover policing. I think this is one of them.
Yes, I think this is definitely what happened. I mean, I remember when Jean Charles de Menezes was first shot and they were telling everybody, and I remember one of my friends wrote to me and sent me a link to the news and just said the right state is burning. Like they've started shooting people down in the streets, and this, this was around the time of
it was 15 days after the 7/7 bombing.
7/7 and the new terrorism laws, which we all thought then were going to be used against peaceful protesters immediately. They weren't, but they are being now. Just how badly the police got it wrong came out very, very slowly, and must have been absolutely awful for the family as they were watching their family member being I mean, we heard yesterday how Simon Wellings classified a Pakistani man as Arab, but this is they were essentially calling this Brazilian man Arab as well, and saying that he'd been involved in this suicide bombing attack, and it took a very long time for it to come out.
I think it's, as well as like the slowness, that there was the immense speed of inventing things, of inventing wildly like ridiculous lies about Jean Charles. New ones they knew wouldn't stick, but they knew they could pollute the media for long enough.
It was one of those. It was one of the early moments of the kind of flood the zone with shit approach to media. My hand's shaking. It's going to be very upsetting today.
It is going to be incredibly upsetting. We expect there to be a trigger warning.
They might be going in. Actually,
yes, we should head in. Please tune in. It will be broadcast live. The link to the broadcast is in the description. We'll be with a 10-minute delay. We don't expect it to be a very long hearing today. It may just be this morning.
I've also heard that there's going to be an interpreter. Right. Yes. Through an interpreter.
Right. Yes. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you during the first break. Bye for now.